Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in this video we're going to be talking about some of the players that you need to look out for in week 2 versus the Carolina Panthers. Maybe I didn't explain it in the last video, so I'll explain it in this video. I'm only talking about players that play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm not talking about players that play for the Carolina Panthers. I will say some of the obvious ones: Christian McCaffrey, Cam Newton, Gerald McCoy, and there's certainly others, but I'm only talking about Buccaneers players in this video. Let's talk about the offensive side of the ball first. The big one I just want to get out of the way right now is Jameis Winston, and can he bounce back? Can Jameis Winston bounce back from the really not so good week 1 game that he had versus the San Francisco 49ers? I've been seeing your guys' comments, and boy, there's a lot of people that are mad at Jameis Winston, but this is his chance to rebound from that game in prime time against Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers and show that he can still continue to improve as a quarterback for this team. So definitely keep an eye on him. I'm sure everybody, absolutely everybody, will be keeping an eye on him. I've talked with a lot of Bucs fans since that first San Francisco game. I've heard a lot of people say, man, if Winston messes up in this game, I'm done. I'm just done. So we will certainly see how he does in this game. Next two guys I want to talk about are Ronald Jones and Peyton Barber. Both guys who did some very, very good things in week 1 versus San Francisco, but the big star out of these two is Ronald Jones. So it's going to be really interesting to see who gets more carries in this game. Now, Bruce has said before that he's going to ride the hot hand, but I think he also said that he's initially going to start out with Peyton Barber getting the first few carries in this running back group and then, deviating from there and seeing which running back deserves more carries going on with the rest of the game. But everybody was impressed with Ronald Jones last week. I mean, and we love it. You know what I mean? We love to see it because Ronald Jones last year just completely put down by the former coaching staff that was here, and now he's finally getting his chance to look good, and you know what, he's looking pretty darn good. So let's hope both these running backs and just this running game as a whole can continue the momentum that they built for themselves in week 1 versus the 49ers. Last two guys that I want to talk about here on the offensive side of the ball are OJ Howard and Mike Evans. Let's talk about OJ Howard first real quick, okay? Because he did not have a good game against San Francisco, which was really upsetting to see. A lot of people in the Bucs fans community really felt that, this was OJ Howard's year to go out there and prove himself as at least a top 5 tight end in this league, if not the best tight end in this league, especially with Rob Gronkowski, retiring from the league. A lot of people thought, okay, this is OJ Howard's time to prove that he's one of the best tight ends out there, and he did not have a good start to the season in week 1. He had a pass that hit him right in the hands that he ended up, not catching. It ended up being intercepted, and then later on in the game, he also had a fumble. Wasn't a good look for OJ Howard to start, so let's hope that he can bounce back versus the Carolina Panthers. They have a tough defense out there, especially Luke Kuechly, who's probably going to be covering OJ Howard a lot, so I know that's a really tough matchup, but hopefully OJ Howard, he can use his size, he can use his athletic ability, and he can use just his phenomenal, almost wide receiver-esque catching ability to improve, and rebound from his game against San Francisco. Then finally, mentioning Mike Evans real quick, the big thing with Mike Evans is a lot of people said that he was shut down by Richard Sherman. And yes, that could also be a case. Richard Sherman could have had good coverage, and I think he did. But also, you got to remember Mike Evans was dealing with an illness during that game. He left the field a few times to literally go onto the sideline and just sit there and be sick, He wasn't having a good time on Sunday. That's kind of one of the main reasons for the fact that he didn't do so good in that game against San Francisco. I fully expect Mike Evans to bounce back in this game if he is feeling better from his illness. I think he had the flu or something like that, which, if you guys have ever had the flu and had, to go out into the heat and whatnot, especially in Florida, it's a bad time. Like, you really just feel like passing out and just like dying right then and there. So we can all, kind of understand where Mike Evans is coming from, especially since he's a player in the NFL. That must have not been a good time on Sunday, not just because they lost, but also for the fact that he was pretty darn sick. He had the flu-like symptoms or whatever, so hopefully he's feeling better going into this game against Carolina. Now to the defensive side of the ball, first guys I want to talk about are Jordan Whitehead and LaVonte David, both guys who had really good games against San Francisco. Both actually led the team in tackles last week with 9 tackles apiece. Pretty darn good in my opinion. So both these guys looked really impressive in the run game. Whitehead, LaVonte David, very sure tacklers, doing a very good job of just securing the running backs either at the line of scrimmage or stopping them after a yard or two. Let's hope for both of them to just continue to be really strong players on this defense and, kind of take charge of leadership. I know that LaVonte David, obviously, he's a leader and that's great and all, but I think that Jordan Whitehead's honestly slowly but surely becoming a leader in this secondary just by example, by going out there, busting his butt and just making great plays in pass coverage and also in the run game as well. So let's hope for both these guys to just continue to look great against Carolina, because it's going to be a tough matchup. They're going up against Christian McCaffrey. That's not going to be fun. You imagine both of them are probably going to have to deal with him at certain points throughout the game, so let's hope they just keep on doing a good job. Next guy I want to talk about, Shaq Baird. He had the lone sack for the Buccaneers in week 1 against the 49ers. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to see Shaq Baird's final numbers for this team. I think he's going to have double-digit sacks. He's only 9 away. Hey, I'm going to keep the counter going for Shaq Baird here. He's 9 sacks away from having 10 sacks, so that's good, man. Keep it up. Still insanely excited to see Shaq Baird play. I think he's a phenomenal pass rusher, held down in Denver. Now he's getting his chance here with the Bucs. Let's just hope to continue to see him rush the passer and do a really good job. Second to last guy I want to mention here, Vernon Hargreaves III, who, was the star of the defense for the Buccaneers in week 1. He had the pick 6. He had the good coverage. He rebounded in a big way, okay? It was just really awesome to see, considering the career Vernon Hargreaves has had so far up to this point with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's not as if he has had, bad play or anything. The guy's just simply been hampered by injuries time and time again, and let's just hope he stays healthy, okay? I pray every day for Vernon Hargreaves to stay healthy on this team, because when the guy is healthy, he's good. You guys saw it on Sunday against the 49ers. I want him to continue to be great. I want him to pick off Cam Newton 2 times. That would be absolutely wonderful. He's a darn good corner when he's healthy, so let's just keep on going, Vernon. You have all the momentum on your side right now. Continue to be great. Finally, last guy I want to talk about, Devin White, who people kind of trashed in week 1 versus the 49ers. And I have a couple of things I want to mention about that. First thing, Devin White finished 3rd on the team in tackles for that game with 6. And second thing is this, the man had tonsillitis, according to Bruce Arians himself in a press conference talking about it. The man had tonsillitis. He's not feeling good, okay? I've never had tonsillitis. I have no idea what it's like. If you guys have had tonsillitis, please let me know what it's like down in the comment section below, but I don't think Devin White was feeling very good in that game. So for him to go out there, play an NFL caliber game, and still finish 3rd on the team in tackles is pretty darn impressive. He himself even said it was basically a miracle of God and the Buccaneers training staff that he was even able to play at all. So, I really hope he's healthy and he recovers from his tonsillitis in time for this game against Carolina. Again, I don't really know anything about tonsillitis. If you guys know anything about it or you've had it before, let me know down in the comment section below what it's like and how long it usually takes you to recover from that. So I'm hoping Devin White feels at least a little bit better. I think it was even said himself or by Bruce Arians that he probably isn't going to be fully recovered from that by the time they play Carolina, but let's just hope he's feeling a little bit better, not just so he can play better on the field, but just for his own personal health, because that must really suck. Same case with Mike Evans. Those guys are going out there playing with some, tonsillitis in the case of Devin White, and the flu in the case of Mike Evans. That must not be fun. That must be miserable, so let's hope both of them start to feel a little bit better. That's it for this video. Let me know any other players that you guys are going to be looking out for in the game versus the Carolina Panthers. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video, but until the next video or the next live stream, I'll see you guys in the next one. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs!